What's up, everybody? Welcome to We're Offended, You're Offended. I'm Kim. This grouchy puss is Tyler.
Not grouchy.
I know. I just wanted to see
I
you
hate
smile.
that I have to. I just hate that. I hate that I always have to walk you off the edge of not being racist. That's it.
Well, you're gonna have to start running to keep up, okay? Because your walking ain't doing it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm walking you back. Oh, okay. I was thinking, well, black people are very fast, so yeah.
Got them slave feet. They'll run you like nothing. That was a quote from a movie. Relax, people. Longest Yard. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Welcome to Friday. I was going to say happy Friday, but it's Friday. So, sup. Welcome. Hope everyone's had a fantastic week so far. I don't know if anybody else out there has been watching the whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, but I tell you today, we're not really talking about it today, but I'm just giving a little blip. But today I found super annoying. Like, for one, all the people that they brought up, like Amber's witnesses and stuff like that, they were not working in her favor in the slightest. And her lawyer, Elaine, holy shit, is she super annoying. The one guy that they had, his Johnny Depp's lawyer, why can't I remember his name at the moment? Which, whatever. As she's questioning
Which
him,
Welderman
yeah,
or something?
yeah, that one. Yeah, the one I messaged you about. I was like, holy shit. Literally every question she would ask, the other guy had to object. And it was always the same objection every time, to the point where he would start just saying, objection, same thing, yet again. Like, you know what I mean? Just same circumstance, same thing, same objection. And it was just almost every question. And she just kept trying to reword them. And then she'd ask another question. And then she'd kind of go back to it again with different wording. And he's like, yet again, same thing. Like, it was so tedious and so annoying. It was such a waste of time. But yeah.
Was that in the deposition or was that during trial? Like, was that actually in trial?
No, it was during the
okay.
deposition. And the funny thing is, a lot of the other ones, like if I guess if the judge doesn't agree with it, you don't hear it. So if somebody says objection, so if she overrules it, you won't actually hear it in the deposition. But if she does disagree, like if she agrees with the person saying objection, that's when you hear it in the actual deposition. And literally this deposition was just like, don't answer that question. I advise not to answer that question due to blah, 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 blah. I advise you not to answer that question due to, like, it was literally every question she would ask. She'd get like a question out and then she'd have like 10 shot down. Get one question out, 10 shot down. It was super annoying. But the people that they had on there, like they had one of the cops who was not one of the ones that was actually there, but somebody who's in charge of the cops that go to domestic abuse things. And they were asking her questions like, okay, like if they were to show up and they were to see somebody who looks injured and a place looks a strew, whatever, that
Disheveled?
there's the better word. Yes.
What's a shrew?
I have no idea.
Why'd you?
I don't know, for whatever reason in my brain, it meant the same type of thing as what you just said.
Disheveled and a shrew. A shrew? A shrew.
I'm turning beet red now, but I don't know.
Anyway.
So I'm just going to put that in Kim's dictionary as a made-up word, I'm sure. A shrew? Is it anything?
A shrew is an animal. Yes.
Anyway. But so disheveled, yes. If the place looks disheveled and the person looks beaten, it's obligated that the police officers still do make a report. Even if the person doesn't want to make a report, they're still supposed to make a report for information purposes only. So then in the event something like this happens again and they get called in, then there are instances that are there. So I'm
Yeah.
like, why would they call her up? Like that literally looked no good. Like that did nothing for Amber whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? Like that deposition did absolutely nothing. So they're it's literally confirming that the cops, when they were there, they looked around, they looked at her, there was no injuries on her, and there wasn't anything disheveled or a shrew. They're a
Well,
shrew.
okay,
That's what I said, not a shrew, a shrew. Hold on, I'm gonna look that up now.
what I it's not a word.
You looked up a shrew, didn't you?
Is that not what you said?
No, I said a strew.
A strew? I don't. I think that's even less of a word.
No, actually, it is a word, but what the hell? Hold on. It's it, I think it's French for astro. Oh my god.
Slangdefined.org says a strew is slang for off the heezy.
There you go. See, it's all my it's all my rap music coming in. See if the cops come in and it's off the heezy. Then
What?
they need to make a report.
Unscramble a strew. Strew, yeah, I see strew. Just like if you just said strew, yes, strew is a word. Well, not a strew.
Well, no, it's off the heezy, yo.
Off the heezy.
For shizzle, mine is
You heard it here first. No, but so like with her hair being ripped out, it looks so perfect. Like it looked like the photo at the top of her head. All I thought was that looks like when someone bleaches their hair and the hair breaks. It looks like a chunk was left in too long, and that section broke. That's what that looked like, because it was nothing like a patch. Like if someone if you can't, no, I'm not beating you up. You're the asshole. If you came and you ripped a chunk of hair out of my head, it would be matted. There would be blood from my head. There would be bruising.
Well, yeah, and the Rocky girl, aka Raquel, she was saying that there was hair on the ground that was bloody, and it can tell that it was ripped out. And you're like looking at it, you're like, no, it ain't. It looks like it was perfectly cut. It's like all perfectly the same length at one end. Like it's like no, it looks literally like it was cut. And her head, honestly, to me, just looks like she had like a little bit of lipstick or a little bit of makeup kind of put there just to give it a little bit of a different tinge, and that's it.
I didn't even see that. Like I didn't see any. Like honestly, like think of when you get your hair dyed and they put the foil shit in, that one section and then they do the next. That's what that looked like. That is honestly what the top of her head looked like. Like on one little spot. Like what did Johnny Depp do? Like grab like 5 strands and like try to pull her like a fucking troll?
But it's such a random spot. Like it's like perfectly at the top of her head. Like it's just like that's such a weird spot. The thing is,
it'd be the back of the head.
I've personally had that happen, like when I have my bangs up in the pins and I've gotten into a vehicle or something and my bobby pins have hit and it's ripped a chunk of my hair out, where I've seen like there's been a spot there. Or what our oldest kid, when I bleached his hair and he didn't wash it out properly and it ended up eating away his hair right here and he had a bald spot. Yeah. It's kind of more so what it looks like, but it just and then that one picture too that they showed 2 pictures side by side. And they're like, okay, this is the picture that was taken, and then this is your picture or whatever. And you could see one of them looks different, like the tint in it. The oh my god, what is it called?
Saturation?
Thank you. Yes.
Brightness?
The saturation. You can see the saturation was turned up. And she's even what's her name? Camille was even saying, like, well, you can see that the saturation is turned up. That's what you did, didn't you? Like you can see one of the pictures is more red than the other. And she's like, no, it was the same picture. It wasn't the same picture. It was one had the makeup light on, and then the other one just had like a fluorescent light. And I'm like, I'm looking at the pictures.
Yeah.
It is too perfect. Every little detail on her face is in the exact same position. Like if her eyes were a little bit more open or something was a bit different, okay, maybe I might believe you, but every little detail was exactly the same. It's the exact same picture. So,
Yeah, no, she's I think she's a piece of shit human being. I truly
100%.
do. And it was so funny listening to a lawyer have to say like the hashtags like Amber Turd and Justice for
Hilarious.
Johnny and Amber Heard's a liar or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, all right. So I guess before we get into the meat of it, the racist discrimination, the sexualization of kids, and
Yes, my favorite.
whoa, Premier or El Capitan blackface um is pulling a jag meat in racist accusations, which, ooh boy, that don't look good when the prime minister starts calling people racist.
He's been
Mind
doing
you, he's
that for
done it
a
already, but
while. Yeah, he's been doing that
it's
since
not
the
a good
Freedom
look.
Convoy.
It's not a good look. I'm sorry, you don't look good when you're sitting there calling people that aren't calling for racism, but discrimination or anything like that. But so we're going to talk about that, and I'm sure this will get derailed by something. But of course, we're here Monday to Friday. We do have some new stuff that's coming, some stuff in the works, trying to make things better, more enjoyable. I'm getting a new semi, so it'll have a nice studio to it. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
are you? Surprise. Shit.
Of course, we're on YouTube, we're on Rumble, we're on Spotify. So hit the Rumble button, share it, leave a review, share this with your friends. Question of the day: which is a bigger issue, black people's hair or baby formula? Which one? Which one is a bigger pressing issue to you?
I know what my
Or do
answer
you have
is.
something? Black hair for sure. Duh.
Obviously. I mean, look at this.
Like the most pressing issue of our time. It's not the No, I don't want to hear about record inflation. No, fuck off. Wrong. You're wrong. Not the housing market. No, bigot. Stop it. It it can't possibly be unemployment or God, a litany of other issues. People becoming actively poor because of government decision. No. Hair or baby formula. And I know which one I'm going with because I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Once in a
What?
while, we do censor ourselves. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen.
Well, whatever. All right, so this was a really fucked up video from everyone's favorite exposer of leftist psychosis, libs of TikTok.
Oh, this is one I posted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is a mom in Clark County school. At Clark County School in Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas, the place that was literally ran by the mob. The place that had more shootings, more corruption, more money laundering, coke, drugs, fucking anal sex, butt fucking, all this craziness. And now they want to tell kids, oh, well, you know what? Let's just
Let's talk
listen
about
to
sex,
this.
baby. I just realized you changed our name again. We're offended you pledged.
Instead of maybe I should put we're offended you pledge instead of donated. I'll change that right now. But let's play this little video here.
All right, let's do this.
Thank you. I'm going to read you an assignment given to my
Oh, what? Muted.
15-year-old daughter at a local high school. This will be horrifying for me to read to you, but that will give you perspective on how she must have felt when her teacher required her to memorize this and to act it out in front of her entire class. I don't love you. It's not you. It's just I don't like your or any in that case. I cheated, Joe.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. I don't. Thank you so much for your. Thank you for your comment. Forgive me.
This is
we're not
propaganda.
using profanity. Are you? What? Okay.
The teacher
This
required my daughter to memorize this and read this pornographic material.
excuse me. Please don't engage with the audience.
Okay.
So
Sorry, this is my
please
first time
continue your
here.
public comment. Your time is.
Like, shut up,
1 minute,
idiot.
and 19 seconds.
Don't like profanity.
I ask you simply.
Oh, there was more to that.
Weird.
Why did that stop? Did it stop for you too?
I'm at a minute 18, a minute 20.
What the fuck? Hold on.
I don't know.
Was that it to you? What was that like for my 15-year-old daughter to have to memorize pornographic material? And
Okay, here we go. Sorry, I
Doctor?
gotta backtrack a bit because all of a
19
sudden my thing
minute-
it literally cut out.
1 minute and 19 seconds.
Oh. Well, no,
I
because
ask you
at one
simply-
point
this is
she
a
weirdly
public
just gets
meeting. I
cut
ask for
off. Like they
decorum,
cut her mic.
and I'm
No, the
asking-
video itself stopped.
Dr. Jara, thank you so much. Dr. Jara?
All right, what time are you at?
if you don't want me to read it to you,
One-
what was that like for my 15-year-old daughter to have to memorize pornographic material and
Okay.
and memorize it and portray?
You see that shit? It freaking cut her mic off. That makes me so angry when I was watching that. Like she's not getting upset. Like I'm telling you guys, if that was me up there and this was my kids, Mama Bear would be coming out. I wouldn't be as nice and sweet as she is. Oh hell no. Like there's no way. But the thing is she's being very polite. She's being very nice. You know, she's just addressing her concerns. And okay, well, if this is uncomfortable for you to hear, how do you think that my 15-year-old daughter would feel? Like having to do this in front of her class and her teacher handed this to her. And they freaking cut her mic off. I would have been like, oh, hell no. I would have just started talking louder. I'm like, fuck you. Like, that's not okay. Like, this is the shit. Like, they should be listening because this is the stuff that clearly is going on in their schools. And if they're unaware of this, then this needs to be addressed. And if they're okay with this, then we got some big problems.
Yeah, no, it's well, and this is being pushed, like I said, in like I've said, we've talked about this before. I have no problem. I have no problem with consenting adults. I have no problem with educating people. But when you start indoctrinating that I hate, when you start with I hate, especially in an educational setting, that becomes really disturbing, especially when they say, I hate this group. I hate people with dicks. Oh, you mean you hate men?
See, that's what.
Oh, speaking of
Go ahead.
Speaking of men, did you see what wonderful news for the country of freedom of speech? How the director, what was it called? The Board of Disinformation or the Ministry of Truth got disbanded because they were spreading misinformation?
What? Shut your mouth. No.
And so she had posted something to the effect of after she got fired. She got fired because she's a fucking psychotic feminist psycho-Nazi lady that hates men and only likes muff diving. I don't even think she likes that. I don't know what the fuck she is, but holy God, and again, I don't care. I've said this a million times. I don't care. We'll poke fun at anyone. If anything, I'll poke fun at myself long before I'm going to start poking fun at someone else. But it's more the idea of you are a bad person. You're not a good person. You're not trying to be authentic. You're not trying to have some type of conviction. You're just, I need to lie for the government. Okay, so then you're a piece of shit. Like that's all you are. But I have such a big problem with, like, school boards are elected by the people in those communities.
Yeah.
and you can't air a grievance, say, hey, my child, there where they have those books about we need to hate white people. There are literal books geared towards children. Like when I say children, I mean like pre-kindergarten, where they're talking about sex. Not like, hey, like not like gender sex, but like
Well, look at that one girl. We had, I don't even remember what podcast it was on. It was a couple back. But that one girl that was saying that she literally, like, her 2-year-old nephew or something like that, she was talking about, like, playing with himself and
but yeah, and
encouraging
she's
it.
saying, yeah, absolutely you should. Like, no, like, hey, I get you want to do that, but here isn't the best place. Like, go away, creep.
Well, and he's 2 years old. They don't understand. It's just like, hey, there's something sticking out of my body. What is it? I'm going to tug on it. It's like people picking at their nose or their toes. Like he's a 2-year-old kid. Come on. And you're,
It, it's disgusting.
yeah.
It's just that it's like it's so weird how they have to focus so hard on kids, and I mean children, little people. So at what point do we start calling these people
Pedophiles.
groomers?
Yeah.
They're groomers. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like what I was going to say earlier was I wonder where the rest of this document thing that this lady had that her kid was supposed to read, how much further it went. Because to me, it almost sounded like, okay, well, I don't like you, and it's not that I don't like you; it's I don't like your dick, and it's not just yours; it's everybody's. So it's like, okay, so where is this going? Are you literally making kids stand up in class, stating that they hate male genitalia and profess that they're like in love with a woman or something like that? Like, do you know what I mean? Because where was this going? So what? What?
I was just looking because Gerald Butts is like Justin Trudeau. Like, if he is not typing, his hand is like this, receiving Justin Trudeau's little wiener. Like that's all he does. He
Go
just
smaller.
can you tell can, can you tell I'm left-handed? But so I just seen because yeah, so like Gerald Butts is he's a bit of a douche. Actually, a bit of a douche is a disservice. Mega douche. But
Mega
I
douche.
thought Gerald Butts had actually responded to one of our tweets, but no, it's Gerald Butts Conscience, a parody account. But
Oh, okay.
I found that funny. I'm like, why would Gerald Butts, like, I'm directly calling out Justin Trudeau. I'm calling him an inept dictator, or he looks inept. But oh, like, I don't know. This is becoming a bigger and bigger issue, and people are so. I don't know if it's ignorance or complacency, and I have a strong feeling it's both. People just don't know, and they don't care to know that this is the stuff that's being pushed, where racial and where segregation is the highest thing, to somehow it's allotted and praised as virtuous. I like we can see the ideas of discrimination. Look at reservations, and I brought this up before, so I don't really want to get into it, but when there's such a hyper focus on children in order for this to happen, like, I think these people are. I think they're. I think they're retarded. Like, they have to be retarded.
I think on some level, 100%.
Like because only a child would go, "Oh, that makes sense," because they don't understand the separation, that there is a level of decorum and a level of professionalism, say, as an educator. And I'm becoming less and less interested in working with teachers and trying to see that, hey, they're doing a good job. I'm sure there are some. Teachers union, you can go die in a fucking fire. And I mean like, the idea of a teachers union. I don't mean the people. Shut up.
Little aggressive.
So, hey, you know what? They started it. There, I changed our Twitter name to "We're Offended, You Pledged But Not Donated."
That's great.
But so, oh, shut up. But so you're just. This is only the thing of, like a sex cult, or someone that you meet, like when you're an adult, like, if you're a kid and you meet an adult and they do something, you're like, oh man, that's so cool. Oh, he or she is so cool. I want to be just like them. And then, that could be something that's kind of like burned into your head. And then when you get to that age, you go, ugh, what the fuck? You're such a loser. It's like that type of idea. But if kids aren't learning this, they aren't learning that, hey, if a teacher, and to be fair, if an adult is saying, hey, let's talk about sex, but shh, don't tell your parents, that's a secret between you and me. I think any parent would go, excuse me?
Right?
Who was this? Oh, this was a priest.
Oh my
it wasn't
God!
a priest?
I was totally going to say, didn't your priest say that to you? Oh my God.
Oh, it was a teacher whose salary I'm directly paying for, who we vote on the curriculum that they're supposed to be teaching our kids. I don't remember signing a paperwork where it says, oh, when you come to school, we can have private sexual conversations. Did you see? I can't remember in which place, but there was a teacher that had he was arrested. Like, first she was setting up like drag shows for kids, and then she ended up getting arrested because she was having sex with a 15-year-old student.
Couldn't have
Like,
waited that extra year, right? The legal age of consent and all.
like, come on.
Naughty.
All right,
I know it's hard to resist. I mean,
it happens a lot. It happens
I
a
know.
lot.
Do you remember that story from like back when we were younger about that teacher who had an affair with her 15-year-old student? I think he was 15 or 14, whatever. And she ended up getting pregnant by him. And then she went to jail, and when
I
she
don't know.
came out of
That
jail, they
happens
were
a
like
lot.
together. I know. So messed up. I can't remember what her name is though.
I whatever. But all right. So there's that. Like, what a look who came out as Republican. You want to scroll down? We have a tweet from a certain a rocket engineer.
Rocket Man.
So Elon Musk says, in the past, I voted Democrat because they were mostly the kindness party, but they have become the party of division and hate. So I can no longer support them and will vote Republican. Now watch their dirty tricks campaign against me unfold.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Well, what have they been saying? So Elon, I love the idea, and I love the idea of you are in charge of your own destiny. You are, you are the author. You are the dictator of yourself, not the dictator. That's Justin Trudeau. Don't get that confused.
The dictator.
But no, he's a dictator.
I was thinking of like tater tots in the shape of dicks. Dictator. Tasty.
A little bit of mayo on the end. Yeah, that's what. Now,
That's hot.
no, but so like a lot of the people, and like, I have a lot of admiration for America. In what have they been able to do, and I have a lot of admiration for that. I don't agree with them going into places and trying to spread democracy at the end of a gun or at the end of a barrel, but I have an admiration in terms of a country that has fought some of its worst wars were inside of their own borders in order to, whether you want to talk about, whoa, the Civil War wasn't about slavery. Well, it was a component. It was a component. Absolutely, it was. I think you'd have to be Daryl Davis in order to think otherwise. But you're seeing such a massive shift and this big idea of people that work hard, and if you work hard, you can achieve anything. You can become a CEO. You can become a business leader. You could have, you can do these things. And it's sad to see because like they are I see them as brothers and sisters. Our two countries have poured blood in order to help each other. Like we should be like besties giving each other hand jobs right now.
Circle
Especially with
jerk.
Florida. Florida's got that little, that's the, and then Texas is the net.
I was gonna say, is
You
that
know
why
what I'm
they
saying?
ball holders?
Yeah, that's really nice little.
Nice little squeeze.
Ow.
Not too hard. I said a little squeeze. Show them who's boss.
But you are seeing a massive shift in the U.S. and you're seeing that here too. And this has been going on for a long time. This isn't something new. This isn't something that happened because of Donald Trump. A lot of this stuff happened long before that. But you've seen an absolute jerk to the left in Canada because I would say because of our politicians, because they are inept, they are ineffective, and they are divisive. They are
Very.
actively divisive. And if you are center right, center left, if you have actual table issues, kitchen table issues, where the fuck am I going to afford gas? Because gas has gone up another 7, 8, 9 cents in a week.
No, I can't even.
That's a bigger pressing issue than what black people. And the funny thing is, black people are oppressed in Canada. I don't think they are the way that you think they are. I would say governmental policy has done a fantastic job of keeping Aboriginal, blacks, a lot of minority communities, keep them in poverty because you need them as a fucking token. Instead of actually trying to build them up and building everyone up, you say, black people, it's not your fault. It's your skin color. And because white people hate you. Fuck you. Fuck you with a rusty fucking iron.
Right up the
If that's the
tailpipe.
way. Like that is so disingenuous. That is like me punching you in the face and saying, "Hey, you know what? It's not your fault that I punched you in the face. It's because of those other white people. They're the reason I punched you in the face."
That sounds like a typical
But
Friday.
it does.
I don't know. It's always beating me up. You see these marks?
But
Shadows? I call it the Amber.
All right, Amber. But so you're seeing more only, well, I guess then once election time comes around, it goes, hey, minorities, remember what I did for you? Remember those discriminatory laws that I passed?
What the
I'm
hell
sorry.
was that?
A spit.
Oh. I seen it out of the corner of my eye. I was like, what? That was hot. Mm. Well, see, but that things like that, they always come up right at election times. And all these promises, and oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then after you get elected in, then it's like, oh, bye minorities. I don't give a shit. Like, it's just
This is
horrible.
okay. Well, this is why whatever your platform is, this is what you are doing. If I say, hey, I'm going to look at bringing manufacturing jobs back to Canada. I'm going to look at lowering our emissions. I'm going to look at changing policies, removing policies, strengthening, like whatever the fuck you are platformed on, whatever you are saying that you are going to do, that is your job. Hey, I am looking at getting legislation through so that you have school choice. Instead of being forced to go to some shit fuckhole school, you can say, I want nothing to do with this area. I hate this school. I think their education is dog shit. So I would like to give my children the best opportunities. Even though in minority areas have some of the highest funding in the country. But remember, it's a minority issue. It's just because it's because you're black. I'm sorry. It's not my fault you're dumb. You're just dumb. So we need to throw more money at you. No, it doesn't have to do with being forced to live in a community where crime is rampant, where poverty is on every single corner, where they have to worry about what they have to eat the next day. It has nothing to do with that. But no, let's throw fuck tons of money at a failing system, at a broken system, instead of actually addressing the problem. What barriers are poor people facing? Oh, it's taxation? Oh, we've actually made it harder for them to try and get out of this situation? Listen here, poor. Nah. Remember all those tax and all those kickbacks we give you, okay? That it's not our fault you're poor. It's your fault. You're dumb.
Oh, my bad. I had no idea. Now that I know what the problem is, I can go change that. Do you know the doctor that Michael Jackson went to? Where he got his skin bleached out? I'll fix this shit.
Right? Yeah, all I needed to do was change the melanin in my skin, and suddenly, oh, hello, fellow Caucasians. Should we oppress minorities today? Nothing makes us happier than telling a black man how dumb he is.
My IQ went up 50 points.
Yeah, I understand the white struggle, and oh man, can I go back to being oppressed? Damn.
Right?
But that's the thing is, don't try to solve these issues because it isn't a bargaining chip. If you solve the problem, it's like like these charities, like Greenpeace or Sea Shepherd or whatever. It becomes a thing called mission creep. Oh, if you have a problem, hey, we wanna look at reducing our plastic dependency, say by 30% in 5 years. And we're looking at sources and like I mean like actually solving issues, not made up issues. But okay, so in that 5 years, hey, we've achieved our goal. Well, now what? Well, I hear gender inequality is a thing. So, let us shift because the problem can never be solved. The reason why there's so much plastic in the ocean, it's because of white people, because they shop more. It's because they don't use paper bags. Do you see how the mission creep starts to overwhelm?
Yeah.
A charity or any type of organization should look at actually putting itself out of business. Any good charity would want to put itself out of business, but son of a bitch, It never happens, does it?
No.
I know. It's just it's disgusting to me because like this type of rhetoric, this and we'll get into Justin Trudeau, of course, being an absolute hypocrite. But
Tell me
okay, so
something new.
well, so I have a couple of articles pulled up, and we're just going to go through them because according to the minority communities, your hair is the reason why you're oppressed. Your
Oh,
hair.
oh. I mean, that makes sense. Obviously. Yeah.
All right, so from the Toronto Star, so black people deal with hair discrimination everywhere. Will Canada take a cue from the US's Crown Act and end it? So they have a 13-year-old Toronto District School Board student was told her hair was too poofy by her principal. A retail employee working at Zara, I don't know what that is, quit after managers asked her to take out her box braids for a more professional look. A restaurant host at the Ago, I don't know what that is, was told by a manager her hair would scare the customers. These are just a few cases of hair discrimination black people in Ontario have faced in the last decade. This is the biggest issue to the black community.
I would like to see pictures of the hair that they're talking about because, for one, okay, so what was the context of the principal saying that this kid's hair was too poofy? Now, my niece, she has a friend who she has got the poofiest hair, and I actually thought like because she doesn't have like typical white skin. Like it's got more of like an olive tone to it. But I had asked her like, does she have like any sort of like black in her? Her hair is so poofy. She's got like fro. But no, she
Thanks,
is
bro.
not. But the thing is like I love her hair. I feel bad for her because like that it's quite hard for to manage. And I had one of my best friends back in school. She had really curly hair that was like super hard for her to manage and poofy. But my niece's friend, well, she outpoofs her, but her hair looks fantastic on her. But the thing is, I've even said it. I'm like, oh my god, your hair's so poofy. And then I was like sitting there, like, okay, touching it. I was like, oh, I love it. You know what I mean? But like,
This is
it depends on the context. Like, if they're being, oh, your hair's too poofy, you need to go home, or here's a ponytail, or something like that. Okay, that's discriminatory. But someone just making a
well,
comment about poofy hair.
well, so I had looked into so an 8th grader sent to the principal's office for her natural hair being too poofy. Already I'm calling bullshit. What principal would say your hair's too poofy? Get to the principal's office, black.
I can't see
Like
that. I mean, even
so,
me.
Keishi Kwanzaa wrote that her niece was reduced to tears in the principal's office. City News spoke with Kwanzaa's sister, Teresa, who explained that Principal Tracy Barnes, a black woman, called her to tell her that her 13-year-old daughter's hair was too poofy and unprofessional for a school. This sounds like bullshit.
That sounds crazy to me.
She said the prince. This sound. Alex, I'll take shit that didn't really happen for 500, please.
I remember,
This has to be.
like, my hair can get really poofy if you hadn't noticed. And I remember there was some guy when I worked downtown, he, like, walked past me, and he just stopped, and he's like, "Oh my god." He's like, "You're like a lioness. Rawr." And I was laughing
Oh
so
my God.
hard. I had really poofy hair, like a mane, right? Kind of how it is right now. But it was just it was kinda comical, right? But I can't, like okay, unprofessional for a school, I think is a little silly. Now, the other person that was told by, like, going back up here, a retail employee working at wherever this was, the manager asked her to take out her box braids for a more professional look. Depending on
Hmm.
what this Zara is, like, I mean, and depending
Well,
on what the braids looked like I can
you can
understand.
click.
What?
You can click on the link and you'll see the photos there. So you can see her
Oh,
hair, like it's
yeah.
like a braid, 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 braid. Okay, that doesn't look bad. But then when you see the back, it looks like predator hair. I assume I don't know what Zara is. Was this a restaurant? Zara, what is this, what's Zara? I don't know what this is.
I don't know, she does have it tied back though, so I don't it's not like it's crazy and all over the place. I think to me that was a little bit, uh, no, I don't think that's really acceptable. She had it tied back. I don't
Okay,
think that looks
so
bad.
it looks like it's an upscale clothing. Yeah, clothing.
No, I think that one was, if that really happened, I think that one's unacceptable because she had it tied back. It didn't look bad at all. I don't see it
Okay,
looking
but
unprofessional in the slightest.
all right, but so you say that. Okay, so I was looking. Okay, so the 13-year-old girl. So she had said, where is it? I didn't see what the big deal was about my hair because it was doing my work. So I didn't see why I had to be pulled out of the class. The family didn't respond to a request for comment from the Huffington Post. The school and superintendent are following up with the family to address any concerns they may have. Hair is not covered by the Toronto District School Board or school's dress code. So it's not covered. So it's not like, hey, if you have, I don't know, if you have black hair, or if you have, if you commit the ultimate sin, fuck's sake, stop it. The ultimate sin of being black with hair, that they're going to say, back of the school bus, It just hearing this, it sounds like bullshit. Doesn't sound true. Um, let's see where. Oh, from Zara. So they said that they tried to fix her hair, make it look nicer. And I'll say, there are places that do have a dress code, and you have a certain appearance. Like when you go into a law office, you're not going there in khakis and a fucking muscle shirt. No, there is a level of professionalism there.
Yeah. Well, even at my work, like I was telling our kids, when I first started there, 11 years ago, you were not allowed to have different colored hair. You weren't allowed to have any visible tattoos. Um,
Yeah.
my nose ring, I was able to get away with only because in some cultures it's a religious thing. So they can't discriminate against my nose ring because they don't know. Right. So they allowed that. But I mean, now I can have different colored hair. I can have visible tattoos and stuff like that. And that's not an issue. But when I first started, that was part of the dress code. And you had to adhere to that. If you take the job, that is the dress code. You're agreeing to the terms. So,
Yeah. So even looking at the Zara thing, they said that they settled with it. Like the company said, what the managers did was discriminate. Okay, it's right here. Oh wait, no, it's not. They took me outside. Okay, then she said, blah blah blah. Zara employees could see them. It was very humiliating. It was unprofessional. Okay, I agree with that. Agma. Oh, come on. Can you get an English sounding name? Came forward after an investigation by CBC's Marketplace and found waitresses working for several Canadian restaurant chains felt pressure to dress sexually. But this is unrelated. This is completely unrelated. What does that have to do with this? But so
I don't know.
this company had, they said that they did end up dealing with a problem and they worked with her directly. My hair type is also linked to my race. So to me, I felt like it was a direct discrimination against my ethnicity in the sense of what comes along with it. Your ethnicity is tied to your hair. She describes herself as biracial. My hair type is out of my control, and I tried to control it to the best of my ability, which wasn't up to standard for Zara. But even the company had said, hey, what those employees or those managers did was wrong. Yeah. And they tried to settle. Or am I? No, sorry. I'm looking at. I'm getting too mixed up. Sorry. So the statement said the company is diverse and multicultural and does not tolerate any form of discrimination. It also said Zara has no formal policy regarding employees' hairstyles, just that they look professional. Okay, so that's that. Sorry, I'm looking at the next one because someone was so devastated. Her world was turned upside down. She had to fight discrimination. So this was the restaurant host at AGO. Ago. Yeah, black Ago worker was told her hair could scare customers. The gallery agreed that was discrimination and promised to do better. A year later, she's still fighting for justice. Even though, in a statement to the Star, the AGO said it could not comment on any incident involving past or present employees, and that the issue has been addressed with those directly involved and remedied, and remedial measures have been taken. They said, yeah, what happened here because of her hair, but now this chick's like an advocate for hair discrimination?
I think, in my personal unprofessional opinion, I think that somebody just didn't like these people and they were trying to find a way to get rid of them. And that was the simplest thing that they could find. Was it right? No, absolutely not. And yes, it's discrimination. I completely agree with that. Especially, well, I mean, whatever. I really don't care. I don't care if someone's got a big fro with a pick in it and they come up to me. I don't care. Like, I literally could not care less. If you're dressed professionally, I don't care what your hair looks like personally. But I think that in these cases, like, neither one of these girls' hairs is insane. I think it was somebody didn't like them and they wanted to get rid of them, and this was the only thing that they could do is discriminate or to attack them at this, to either get them to quit or, well, you're not following dress codes, so bye. You know? I've
Yeah.
been at jobs
Yeah.
where people have done stupid things like that just to get rid of someone. So
Oh, people are insanely petty and are
yeah.
super envious of someone that, hey, goes up the corporate ladder faster, is more capable than them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about, let's show the terrifying account of basically painting all conservatives as racist. So we have from Canada Proud a little clip of, and I'll say this on the outset. I totally support non-violent drug offenses should be legal. I don't think someone should go to prison because they have fucking weed in their pocket or
Right.
they have drugs in their pocket. I don't give a fuck. I possibly could not care less. Especially if they're in their house doing it by themselves and they're not hurting anyone.
Yeah, if it's for
I
personal
also
use,
think
whatever.
prostitution. And I also think prostitution should 100% be legal. So that's the side that I fall on with this stuff. I think prostitution, you should be in charge of what you want to do. If you want to, you can sell. How did that expression go? You can, oh, fuck. What was it?
Yes,
you can
fuck.
sell. On, I'll well, let's just play this. We'll play the video.
Mr. Speaker, violent crime is increasing under this Prime Minister. Gun crime is up 83% since the Liberals took office. At the same time, they're going to make it allowable for criminals to get house arrest instead of go to jail for armed robbery, weapons trafficking, drug trafficking, breaking and entering, possession of illegal firearms, and drive-by shootings. He's going after law-abiding Canadians, but going soft on gangsters who don't care about his rules and paperwork. Will he scrap Bill C-5?
Here, here.
Mr. Speaker, our criminal justice reform legislation turns the page on failed Conservative Party policies. They claim to be tough on crime, but we're really just tough on Black Canadians and Indigenous people. What our communities need.
You see that? You see that fucking smile? He's like, yeah, I got to paint them as racist.
Unbelievable. I can't
To be
even.
fair.
Ugh. I can't even stand his face or his voice anymore. Like, he just disgusts me.
Like, that is a fantastic way of telling people we don't like your ideas. Instead of saying, like, you notice how she's saying, oh, well, we're going to let violent drug offenders, we're going to let, drug smuggling. Oh, well, Mr. I'm super straight and I never fucked a man in my life, Mendocino, was saying that the reason that we're making gun laws stricter is so we can protect communities. Well, now they're saying, oh, well, it's failed gun policies. They just hate minorities. Do you see the game being played here? Do you see it again, it's the tokenizing. Well, we need to make these communities less safe. So what are we going to do? Well, it's the evil white conservative that's the reason why. And to be fair, I fucking hate I hate all three parties, all three major parties. NDP is a fucking communist joke. Liberals are right up there. Conservatives didn't say a fucking word until their constituents finally said, hey, we've had enough, we're done.
But at least somebody like Pierre, whatever, at least they got to that point where they finally, okay, you know what? You're right. Enough is enough. And they actually stood up. Nowhere else has stood up. Everyone else is still holding their hand out, trying to be the next one to hold Justin's dick. Like, nobody else is. At least they're standing up, finally.
I guess, because I was saying, like, you're a little short. A day late and a dollar short here. But I maybe I should look at it more as, hey, at least, like, welcome to the fight.
Yeah.
Where have you been? Like, thanks for coming.
100%. Like, as long as that fight continues, keep going. Like, I would really like to see Pierre get into office, and hopefully the things that he's talking about will continue. You know what I mean? When he is actually in office, and he's not going to be your typical Justin Trudeau that, oh, I'm going to say this, I'm going to make you all these promises, and then I get voted in, and haha, suckers. But
and that's the thing is, oh, sorry, what?
No, I was just going to say, but I personally have good feelings about this Pierre guy. I really do. So I'm really hoping he doesn't disappoint.
I'd say it's either him or Bernier. At least from the onset, Bernier was saying, you know what's going on here is wrong. But you see it, like, honestly, I would love to have minority people, please. Do you not feel that you're talked down to when this type of stuff is said? I would love to hear someone's opinion on it, not just mine, because obviously, well, don't look at this. Apparently, I'm white as fuck.
No, you're white adjacent, remember? Because you're not white.
Yeah.
You're white adjacent.
Yeah, I'm Aboriginal, but yeah, because of my skin color. And this is why I think all this race talk is it's stupid. It's so disingenuous to deal with anything. It's just finger pointing and I don't know. I don't know the statistics. I don't have the thumb or a pulse on the minority communities in Canada to the full extent of where they line up with this stuff, but I'm sure they would like more police in their neighborhood. Just a thought. I don't know. I'm sure they would like more resources so that their kids aren't being recruited into gangs when they're children. Just I don't know.
Maybe.
Could be. What are you seeing? You're seeing what?
No, I was just going to say, I think that's a pretty fair assumption.
And does this not feel degrading? I would love to for someone to say, like, does this actually make you more confident, or is it more they're the reason why your life sucks? Stick with me because I'm taking any ability that you have in order for you to actually protect yourself or to actually try and get out of these rough areas. Like, which one is it? Do you want? I would guess probably stiffer crimes for people that have an illegal gun or that smuggled a gun into Canada and then committed a crime with it, violent armed robberies. Oh, well, put them on house arrest.
You're just stuck in your house. So have fun with that. Hope your cable and internet bills are paid.
Like, it's so bothersome, and I think minorities are a lot smarter than I think the Liberal Party gives them credit for.
Oh, 100%.
But it's kind of one of those situations as I need help. So, like, what do I do? Like, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, if I vote for people that are saying, hey, we want to abolish, say, like, the Welfare Act or reform it, well, what am I going to do? I'm already hurting, and now I'm only going to hurt more. And I understand that position. Trust me, I was there. We were there. So I understand it. But it kind of seems like they got you by the short and curlies. What they got you by the balls. What do you do?
Don't cough.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah. Yeah, don't try and improve your position. Just be stuck in a perpetual place of dependency. Like, does that feel liberating when you are wholly dependent on someone else in order for your existence to even be capable?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about people that can't work, people that maybe that maybe have a mental disability, or people that have had an accident at work and are no longer able to, or people that are severely handicapped that can't. I have no problem helping those people. What do you mean by those people? Shut up.
Those people, that's what we mean.
Yeah, those people. But I have no problem with that. I have a big problem of someone that decides, oh, I don't want to do anything. I just want to take. While the middle class is getting fucked harder than Amber Heard in a Maker's Mark bottle.
I think that's her new dildo, by the way.
Well, I think we said last time how I think they've actually partnered with was it Mr. Johnson, Mr. Hankey? Is it Mr. Hankey that makes dildos? I think they've collaborated now. So they've made Maker Mark bottles into dildos that you can also carry, booze in.
Sure.
All right, smart. But
Well, I have lots of other interesting shaped ones, so why not a bottle? I'm surprised that hasn't been done yet.
Right? Amateurs. No, but seeing that, and like I said, I want to see everyone succeed. I want to see people that create something. I get inspired by people that are passionate and love what they do. I love it. But when you're just held down and the government says, "Oh, it's not your fault. It's the white people's fault." It seems so disingenuous. And honestly, the more and more I hear about this stuff, the less and less I am interested in listening, or not listening. You have to listen. Less interested in trying to come to an ultimatum, some type of agreement.
Well,
because it's just.
Sorry.
Oh, what?
Sorry. No, I was just going to say, because this world is too accustomed to giving everybody an out, giving somebody an excuse for everything. So nobody can take any sort of accountability for anything. And the thing is, like, okay, bad things were done in the past. Okay, so let's recognize that. Let's not hide that. Let's recognize that and not make those same mistakes again and move forward instead of trying to
That's real
create
progress.
such a divide between everybody going, oh, okay, well, you know what, things are this way because of these type of race. You're suffering because of this race. You're suffering because of this gender. Like it's ridiculous. Like it's literally giving everybody an out. Oh, you were intoxicated and you killed somebody and you ate them. Oh, well, you know what, you were intoxicated, so it's okay. Like we're not gonna. It's not murder. It's okay. Oh, you are a teacher and you're grooming children and then you decided to, take it a little further. Well, it's in the curriculum, so you were just teaching them, right? Like it's giving everybody an excuse for something. And it's gross.
Yeah. It is quite bothersome that this is where the left, and I'll say like leftists, and Justin Trudeau is a leftist. You see what he is. He is not the majority of Canada, and I guess the diehard, the unthinking majority that just sees, oh, Liberal Party, oh, they're about libertarianism,
At
oh, they're
one time,
about yeah, no, there is a big realigning going on. And like I said, I shouldn't be siding with conservatives, but for some fucking reason, I am.
Right.
It's weird. It's like I didn't leave the left left me.
100%. I'm still here. I'm still right where I was. And somehow I went from the left and just kept easing myself this way. Or ended up going that way somehow. I don't understand how, but it happened. But the funny thing is, okay, remember yesterday in our podcast when I was looking up like left authoritarian on the political
Yeah.
scale and it came up with China. Well, who does Trudeau admire, right?
Well, that's what I said yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh,
100%.
they admire. He admires China's basic dictatorship. He loved Fidel Castro and the communist revolution that saw the death of thousands of people.
Castro was a left
That
authoritarian
praises.
too.
Yeah. So hey, if I'm aligning with these people, am I the baddie? Like you at some point you have to have some type of self-reflection. And I think what was it? I think Mark Twain had said, if you find yourself in speaking on the side of the minority, time for you to reflect.
Right.
And to be fair, he is not the majority. I would say overwhelmingly, Canada is not a racist country that he seems to think it is. In fact, your policies, the things that you actively fight Aboriginal children on because of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, where you actively hold them hostage. And I don't think that's an unfair word to use, because you say, if you leave, well, then you lose any of your special privileges on this fucking shitty patch of dirt that we let you have. It's not yours, it's mine, but I'm letting you have it.
Just borrowing it to you until I realized how the value in it and decided to take it back.
Yeah. Oh, and they've done that a few times. Like Douglas Reserve used to be in Winnipeg, and they fucking kicked them out once. And then they found, oh, this place is too valuable. Kick them to another swamp land where there's nothing going on. Okay, well, you can have there now.
Yeah, which is
and the reason why on Kenniston, well, the military base, government will not give that up. They will not give that up. Why not? Oh, because the Aboriginals will move in. No, that tuxedo. It's so fucking gross.
Yeah.
Feel like you're being pandered. Do you like being a token for this?
See, I don't know. I wish more people would stand up and like, okay, so we're gonna fight about hair. I would honestly rather stand behind a bunch of those Aboriginal people who are in shitty ass communities and they have like nothing. I would much rather fight for a cause like that. Give them proper things. Let them, like, what the hell are you doing? It's just gross. And yet, oh, these are our nation's people. Yeah, and this is how you treat them. People come to
Yeah.
your province for a, I know this is a totally separate thing. Come to your province for a peaceful protest. Look how he treated those people. Like, it's absolutely disgusting the way he treats people. But yet,
Yeah.
everybody else is the terrorists and the bigots and the racists and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, it's gross. It's so gross.
Yeah. No, and look, I'm less and less interested in trying to do things amicably. Try and, hey, let's bridge this gap, which I'm sure overwhelmingly most Canadians are not interested in telling minorities to, hey, it's my fault that your life sucks, so tough, deal with it. But I don't know. We can continue on this shit show on another time.
Yeah.
It's another sign of how out of touch he is, how incapable he is at actually looking at his own flaws and blames others. That is the epitome of entitlement.
Yeah.
Causing the problem and blaming someone else. And every dictator has a weak fucking ego. Every dictator. So Justin Trudeau, fuck off.
Yeah, piss
All right, let's get it out of here.
All right. Well, thank everybody for hanging out with us today and listening to some things that we have to say about what's going on in the news today. Hope everyone's had a good week. Have a fantastic weekend. Do the things that you love to do and enjoy to do. Spend it with your family, your friends. Have a drink or two. 5. If it doesn't
Your
rain, have a
community.
bonfire. I would love to do that.
How about
Anyway,
with your community? Have
yes.
it with your community.
Yes, that sounds good. All right.
Go meet your neighbor.
Be kind to one another. Stop all this fucking
I love our
bullshit.
neighbors.
I do too.
I love our neighbors.
Yeah.
And guess what? Oh, they're a minority.
Oh, they're fantastic. They are probably the best people in this town, to be honest.
Oh, I love them. Love them.
Me too. All right. Have a great weekend. Don't forget you can check us out in all the places listed in the description box below. If you listen to us on Spotify, it is now up on video. So we got video on Spotify. So yay. All right. Bye, guys. See you Monday.